Hello everyone. In this session, we're going to discuss about direct memory access, that is DMA. Why we need direct memory access? That is, the main operation we are doing in the processor, which is nothing but transfer operation. We need to transfer any kind of data between the memory and the external devices. If you want to transfer such type of operation, that is between the peripheral devices and the memory, if you want to transfer any kind of data, at that time we need the processor intervention. So if the processor responding to the external devices, so at that time the processor is doing some other operation, it stops its execution, current execution, and afterwards it will send the response to the external devices in order to perform the transfer operation. But for this kind of operation, it needs more time. So it is actually the time consuming process, because CPU stops its execution and afterwards it will transfer the data. So in order to reduce the extra time that is actually acquiring by the CPU, so in order to increase the transfer speed, we are going to this direct memory access, that is DMA. So directly we are actually performing the transfer operation between the memory and the peripheral devices without the help of CPU. Without the intervention of CPU, how the transfer operation takes place between the memory and the peripheral devices? That is possible only with the help of this direct memory access. As the name suggests, direct memory access, which is nothing but, so it is actually accessing the memory directly without the help of CPU. That is what DMA. So in this topic we are going to discuss about the DMA controller. What is the block diagram that is required for DMA controller in order to perform this kind of operation, and how the DMA transfer takes place without the help of the CPU. That is what we are going to discuss. So before going to discuss about this DMA controller and its block diagram, you should know what are the two types of transfer that takes place in this DMA. First one is burst transfer, next one is cycle stealing transfer. So what is burst transfer? Burst transfer means it will transfer one block of memory at a time. The entire block of memory word will be transferred in between the memory and the peripheral devices. That is nothing but burst transfer. Cycle stealing transfer means it will transfer only one data word at a time. So after transferring that one data word, it will return back all the control lines to the CPU for performing some other operation. So I'll tell you before when we discuss about the block diagram, so how it is actually taking the control of the CPU and how it is performing the transfer operation, and after terminating the transfer operation, how it is return back the control lines to the CPU. We'll discuss that. Okay. So now these are the two types of transfer that takes place in this DMA controller. Either it will transfer the block of memory at a time, or it will transfer only one data word at a time. This is what cycle stealing transfer. Next, we will see about what are all the bus signals that we have in this CPU. So in the CPU, we have the data bus, address bus, read line, write line. So you all know about what is data bus, address bus, which is nothing but which is used to transfer only the data and the address to any other device. Only with the help of these two buses we can able to perform it. And read line, write line, which is nothing but either you're going to perform read operation or write operation. I'll tell you what is this bus request and bus grant. So whenever this DMA wants to perform its own operation, so it will send the bus request line to the CPU in order to release all the control signals. So whenever the CPU receives this bus request line, it will release all these control signals. How it is actually releasing all the control signals? So whatever the control signals that is actually connected with the CPU, it sets all these control lines to high impedance state. So what is this high impedance state? High impedance means disabling. So that is nothing but open circuit. All the output will be disconnected. That is what high impedance state. And it will enable this bus grant signal. This bus grant signal line will be transferred to the DMA it is just intimating the DMA to, it is allowing the DMA to takes place its operation. So this is what the two specific control lines that is actually interconnected with CPU, that is bus request and bus grant. So in addition to these control lines, it is having two more control lines, that is bus request and bus grant. So whenever it is actually interconnected with the DMA, these two control signals will be enabled. So whenever it receives this bus request, and after setting all these control lines to high impedance state, it will send the bus grant signal to DMA to execute its operation. This is what CPU bus signals. So next one, we're going to discuss about the block diagram of DMA controller. This is what the block diagram. So here in this block diagram, so I'll tell you, so in this DMA, the one specific control line which is enabled in this DMA. So whenever DMA is ready to transfer, so it will set this control line to be enabled. That is what DMA select. And this DMA, the entire process of this DMA will be initialized by CPU. So when the CPU sends the bus grant signal, this automatically this DMA select line will be enabled. And in this DMA controller, it has three register. In this DMA controller, it consists of three registers. The first one is address register, word count register, control register. Address register is nothing but it holds the address of the word that is actually stored in the memory. So in the memory, we are actually going to transfer the data. In which location you are going to transfer the data, that particular address will be stored in this address register. Word count register, which is nothing but it will count the, it will store the number of words that we are going to actually transfer into the memory. So how many number of words we are going to transfer, that information will be stored in this word count register. So this is what word count. And what is this control register? Control register means it will tell you about what kind of transfer mode we are going to take place in this DMA controller. So either it is a read operation or it is a write operation. Write control or it's a read control. So that information will be known by using this value, that is control register. These three registers will be stored in this DMA controller. So here this address register and word count register will be automatically either incremented or decremented by the DMA. So this address register, whenever any kind of data has been transferred to memory, automatically this address register will be incremented by 1. So whenever any kind of transfer takes place in the memory, automatically this word count register will be decremented by 1. Because initially it is actually stored the number of words that we are going to transfer into the memory. So automatically, so one word has been transferred, then this word count register will be decremented. So this transfer operation takes place until this word count register reaches to 0. When the value of word count register is 0 at that time, so it can understand that all the transfer operation has been done. So what is this DMA request and DMA acknowledge? So as I told, this DMA controller is actually interconnected with IO devices, that is nothing but peripheral devices. So whenever the peripheral devices is ready to transfer the kind of data into the memory, so it will send the DMA request to the DMA controller. So when this DMA controller receives this request, so it will send the bus request line to the CPU. So when it receives the bus grant line from the CPU, then it will send the DMA acknowledgement to the IO devices. So this is what the outline of this DMA controller. This is what the entire operation has been done with the help of this DMA controller. And we are having separately the data bus buffers and address bus buffers in order to send the data and the address respectively. So here this address bus buffers will be connected with the address bus, and this data bus buffers has been connected with the data bus. So this will again interconnected with the CPU and also to the memory. So that we will discuss in the DMA transfer. So before going to the DMA transfer, so I would like to tell you about what is this interrupt line. So this interrupt line means, so in the middle of the DMA controller, so when it is executing this transfer operation, So in the middle of it, if it gets any external signal, because it is actually interconnected with the external devices, so it may get the external signals also. So if it gets that external signals, kind of error, so it is a kind of error. So if it gets any such kind of error or any interrupt, so it will stop its execution abruptly and it will send the interrupt to the CPU in order to saying that it is releasing all the control. It terminates its operation and it will allowing the CPU to take over the control. That is what we have on specific interrupt line in this DMA controller. So next one we are going to discuss about DMA transfer, which is a very specific operation has been done in this DMA controller. Let us see what is the block diagram of this DMA transfer. So here we will be having the CPU, and this one is DMA controller, and here we have the memory, which is nothing but primary memory, which is said to be RAM, and here we have the peripheral device, or we can also say it is a IO device. So how it will initiate its operation? So as I told, CPU will initiate the DMA controller, and whenever this IO devices is sending any DMA request to the DMA controller, so after receiving this DMA request, it will send the bus request line to the CPU, and again this bus grant line will be received by the CPU to the DMA controller. After getting that bus grant line, the DMA controller will send the DMA acknowledgement to the IO devices. So this is what the initiate operation. So after receiving and sending all these request lines, so what it will do, address select has been connected with this DMA controller. With the help of this address select, it will either select this DS, that is DMA select, or it will select either any one of the register that is actually implemented with this DMA controller, that is register select. As I told, it consists of 3 register: address register, data register, word count register, control register, and it will do their function correspondingly. So here we have all the control lines. So in this DMA also it will have all the control lines as we do in the CPU. CPU, whatever the control lines we have, all the same controls will be there for DMA also, because whichever the control lines it is released by the CPU, all the same control lines will be taken by the DMA. So this read and write lines will be bidirectional. This address bus or unidirectional, address and data bus or unidirectional. So when the DMA is ready to transfer, it will get all over the control lines from the CPU to the DMA, and it will directly transfer to the memory. So whatever the data it is actually receiving from the IO devices, it will directly transfer all those data into the memory. That is, so in this memory also we will be having all the control lines, that is 4 common control lines that is actually connected with CPU, DMA controller and the memory. That is read line, write, address, data line. So all these 4 are said to be common control lines that is actually interconnected with these 3 devices. Okay. So this is how the DMA transfer takes place. So how the data transfer has actually transferred from the external devices to the memory without the intervention of CPU. So that is the only advantage of this DMA controller. That is the main advantage of this DMA controller, and also it will increase the efficiency of data transfer by reducing the transferring time. Suppose if you are transferring the bulk amount of data from the magnetic disk, kind of secondary memory, so it is a magnetic disk or even the magnetic tape. So in that case, if you want to transfer bulk amount of data, so at that time, so we can reduce the transfer time with the help of this DMA by eliminating all the control lines that is actually directly connected with the CPU. So this is what the DMA transfer takes place in the computer system. Thank you.